Rick Johnson comes by with the lead. Rick Johnson in number 1 spot with Jeff Ward second, followed closely by Johnny O'Mara, Alan King, David Bailey, and Jeff Ward closing on Rick Johnson. Jeff Ward looking for his first moto win of the year, trying to catch Johnson and make the pass. The pack again, Johnny O'Mara and David Bailey having a battle, and Jeff Ward takes the lead away from Rick Johnson on the downhill going into the right-hand corner, and as they head into the back section, Johnson says, "No way, I'm coming back at you," and that he does. He moves back into the number 1 spot with Wardy still running number 2. Rick Johnson pulls out a considerable. Johnson a little bit more of a hang-on, go-for-it wide open. David Bailey a little bit more on the smooth side. But one thing is for sure, no matter what racetrack it is, some suit one style more so than another, but they will all two guys when it comes down to the end. Rick Johnson still holding down that number 1 spot, being very aggressive, while David Bailey continues to try and close that gap with only a few laps remaining. And Rick Johnson comes over the final jump for the last time and takes David Bailey with the whole shot. Just situation, there's nothing like a whole shot, get out and go. You're in the back of the pack, definitely a problem. Johnson knows that after that first moto win that he needs to beat Bailey back to 4th. So what we're looking at right now is we're looking at David Bailey in that number 1 spot, riding smooth and flawless. And behind him is Rick Johnson, the ever so important start. Bailey riding with that smooth and flawless style. Rick Johnson a little bit more on the edge, but you know what? The one thing is for sure, and we're seeing it here at Hollister, and that is that whatever the start is, pretty much is going to determine a little bit of the outcome, because we've got Rick Johnson winning the first moto, David Bailey looking like he might win the second moto, and that's going to put David 7 points up going into the final round in Washougal, Washington. Still, David Bailey in the number 1 spot with Rick Johnson in second. Bailey has pulled out to about a 7-second lead at this point, so it looks like without any problems, Bailey's got this pretty well in hand. While Rick just a little bit on Rick Johnson in third. 1 lap to go, and David Bailey will have the overall for the day in Hollister. Makes it Honda 1, 2, and 3. On the last lap, David Bailey has moved out to a 13-second lead over Rick Johnson. And again, that David Bailey will lead Rick Johnson by